It's day 204. It's Thanksgiving Monday, and I've got a lot to be thankful for. Unfortunately, one of those things isn't a goose. This is appropriate to the season. I spent this week dedicated to hunt and harvest. And appropriate to my rookie status, I came up with the big goose egg as far as waterfowl went. I don't have much experience goose hunting, and neither did the people I went out with. So we were pretty much learning as we went. But on the upside, it gave us an excuse to go exploring in areas that we might not otherwise have a reason to go into. Chris, the mapper, and I went for dawn patrol in the bog across from Toe Hill, a distinct little ecosystem with little ponds and stunted trees. And Ross and his visiting friend Kevin and I took a paddle up Mare Lake. The crabapple trees were turning their fall colors on the shore. We were hunting for goose and deer. They didn't catch sight of much more than some nice scenery. The deer here on the island are an introduced species. There was originally 39 deer introduced, and now there's an estimated 250,000. They have no natural predators. So usually they're everywhere. Along with the change in seasons and some hunting pressure, they become more and more elusive. So where we might have gone into an area and seen at least half a dozen deer, we went in one of these evenings and saw not a single one. That's why they call it hunting and not shooting. So I did a lot of armed hiking and paddling this week. Joined Chris and Ellen for a trip down to South Moresby. We stopped to do the Dover Trail for a little hike. Between the two of them, they have an encyclopedic knowledge of flora and fauna and a very good eye. So they pointed out things I might otherwise just walk past, such as this mushroom, a witch's hat, caught sight of a pine marten. Chris the Mapper's skills at food collection are up to snuff, and he collected such edibles as these elven saddle mushrooms and caught this beautiful little cutthroat with light fly tackle, which he fried up with some onions and butter for our dinner that evening. Thankfully, I don't need to depend on what I hunt and harvest in order to eat. And I can also be thankful that I was invited to a couple of Thanksgiving dinners. One of the dinners in town was held by the owners of The Ground, which is a hip little cafe and a real cornerstone for the community. And beside turkey, they also had an elk roast and caribou sausage in the stuffing. Another dinner by someone on the grid with a good oven, Ross. His turkey, because of a shortage of organic turkeys on island, came from a market about 5 blocks away from my parents in Vancouver. Besides Thanksgiving, it was also Rescue Ross, our ambulance chief's 30th birthday. So happy birthday, Ross. As for the Canada goose, still very early in the season, so perhaps I'll get one in time for Christmas dinner. But if anyone out there has goose hunting tips or can point me to some good goose hunting resources, I'd be very interested to hear them. Otherwise, have a great week, and I'll talk to you next Tuesday. Thanks.